Alexandra Eala from the Philippines, and has a huge win for her.
Alexandra Eala closes out Iga Swiatek on center court, and the six-time Grand Slam champion has nothing left to answer with. 7-6, 9, 6-2. The defending champion's gone, and a 29th seed from Quezon City has just become the first Filipina in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam round of 16.
Kapag lumago, hindi nahihinto. And that loosely translates to once it grows, it cannot be stopped.
Now rewind 3 years. Alexandra Eala's Grand Slam record read 1-5. She fell in first round qualifying at the Australian Open in 2023, in 2024, and again in 2025. She lost in third round qualifying at the French Open at Wimbledon, at the US Open, all in 2024. Her major main draw debut, the 2025 French Open, ended in round 1 against Colombia's Emiliana Arango. This isn't a rising star's origin story. This is 5 years of doors closing, but this wasn't the end. There was one crack of light. At the 2025 US Open, down a double break in the final set against Denmark's Clara Tauson, she somehow closed it out 6-3, 2-6, 7-6, 11, before falling to Spain's Cristina Buccia in round 2. One win. That's what she carried into 2026, and honestly, 2026 didn't start much kinder. A semi-final exit in Auckland to Wang Xinyu, a first-round loss at the Australian Open to Alicia Parks, a third-round run at the Italian Open ended by Elena Rybakina, a first-round exit at the French Open to 18-year-old Iva Jovic. By the time the grass season rolled around, Alexandra Eala had almost nothing to show for 6 months of work. And that's when things shifted. Something clicked on grass. She won the WTA 125 Birmingham Open, grinding out a 3-set win over Nikola Bartkova, 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. Then came Berlin, a 500 semifinal run where she beat world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina back-to-back, before losing to Linda Noskova. A first-round exit at Bad Homburg to Elise Mertens followed. Uneven, sure, unfinished. But the tactical shift was already there. She was playing closer to the baseline, taking the ball earlier, using the surface instead of fighting it. She walked into Wimbledon ranked number 32 in the world, a career high, seeded 29th. Round 1 told the first part of the story. On court 12, she faced Mexico's Renata Zarazua, the player who'd beaten her back in 2024. She squandered a 40-0 lead in the 6th game, fought through 7 deuces to break anyway, and closed it out 6-1, 6-2, 22 winners to Zarazua's 11, 4 of 17 break points converted. Clean, controlled. But the bigger test was already sitting on the schedule. Maya Joint, round 2. And here's the story behind that match. 12 months earlier, at the 2025 Eastbourne Final, Maya Joint saved 4 match points against Eala and won 6-4, 1-6, 7-6, 10. Eala later told the press, "It hit me quite hard, I cried a lot, and I don't think I was able to watch those highlights for a couple of months. That's not just a stat line, that's a wound." And on court 3, that wound came due. Joint broke first and took the opening set 6-3, playing with the confidence of someone who just upset Serena Williams. But Eala reset. She stepped in closer, took Joint's pace on the rise, and fired back-to-back aces at 105 and 107 miles an hour to level the second set at 1-1. From there, she broke twice, closed the second set 6-2, then buried Joint 6-0 in the third, 95 total points to 82, a double break running through the decider, 3-6, 6-2, 6-0. The Eastbourne loss answered, and this is where things escalated into something Philippine tennis had never produced before. Third round, center court, Iga Swiatek, 3-time defending champion, 6-time Grand Slam winner, across the net. Before the match, Swiatek herself had warned that Eala's game was tricky and could be even more difficult on grass. Turns out she was right, and it didn't matter one bit. The first set ran 84 minutes. Swiatek broke first. Eala broke straight back with a high moonball return, then broke again to serve for the set at 5-3, only for Swiatek to save it and force a tiebreak. In that tiebreak, Eala built a 5-2 lead. Watch Swiatek claw back to 2 set points at 7-5, saved both, and finally sealed it 11-9 on her 4th chance. Here's what the whole match really turned on. Swiatek finished with 44 unforced errors to Eala's 21. Swiatek's own second serve, supposed to be a weapon, got picked apart. Eala won 21 of 38 points against it, while her own modest 123 km/h second serve baffled Swiatek into winning barely a third of those points. That low, skidding ball on grass did what 3 years of Grand Slam qualifying losses never let her show. It broke a 6-time major champion down point by point until Swiatek's forehand sailed long on set point. The second set was almost Academy textbook precision. An early break to love, a 4-0 lead built on passing shots most players wouldn't even attempt on center court. Swiatek clawed one break back to make it 4-2, and Eala answered right away, serving for the match at 5-2. 6 deuces, 4 break points saved, 2 of Swiatek's own match points erased until a cross-court forehand on the 3rd match point finally ended it. 7-6, 9, 6-2. The biggest upset of the tournament. Billie Jean King posted her reaction that same day. What a treat to spend some time with Alex Eala, fresh off her historic win at Wimbledon today. She is the first Filipino to reach the round of 16. And Eala's own words were aimed somewhere past the scoreboard entirely. I want them to look at me and say, wow, I want to be the first me. I want to make my own path. Monday, July 6th. Jasmine Paolini, on the number 13 seed 2024 Wimbledon finalist, is next. Their only previous meeting went Eala's way back in Dubai on hard courts months before any of this began. This will be the first time they've ever met on grass, and with Swiatek gone and Rybakina gone from the same half of the draw, the door to a Wimbledon quarterfinal is standing wider open than it has for anyone else in this tournament. The only question left is whether Alexandra Eala walks through it, or whether the pattern that held for 5 years finds one more way back in.